Cheers, everybody. Welcome to the 39th episode of New Brew, the show where we drink beers we've never had before. We talk about the beer. We have some general chit-chat discussions. And hopefully we'll answer a question. First up in our chat was Drunken Ones. Cheers to Dio and cheers to anybody else watching. I do have another guest popping up now, so we'll add him on up into the screen. We have Dan.
Very Dan.
Hi, Dan.
So for our panel tonight, we have Alex, the Beer Master.
What is up, everybody?
Miscellaneous Brew.
Cheers.
Beer Man.
Reviews on the end.
Cheers. Yeah, you left it off. You could have changed your name like I did.
No.
So it's Miscellaneous Brew Reviews, the Beer Man. East Coast LQ Reviews.
Cheers.
And then we have Dan, who's part of FLX Beer Reviews.
Legendary Bump, you can ask Legendary Dan to give you the beer, and then you have to type in the stuff. I think that's what you've been doing, Bump.
Yeah, if Dan wants to just throw it into the private chat, his the brewery, the beer that he has, and the alcohol percentage.
I don't like all this peer pressure. Just saying.
If you'd like to, you'd just be the odd duck. See, I'll show you how it's kind of going to look. So we got Alex coming up. So Alex, go ahead and present your beer.
I appreciate you, Dan, and everybody. All right, we got Hyper Swirl, blueberry, raspberry, something here. I can't try to read that a little bit. I tried to read some of that, and it's volume 7.3. I've had Beer Tree, Legendary Rick Jopos drinks these beers, stuff like that. So let's pour this up, shall we? I think it's going to be delicious. I really do have a feeling. That smells good. I heard there's ice cream. I'm not ice cream, but I heard there's lactose in this. So let's pour this up, shall we? I'm going to say it kind of looks like a Drecker to me. Wow. That looks beautiful. It's a 2-finger head. Smells good. I guess it's time to dig in, huh, Legendary Bumpy?
Yeah, dig in. Cheers.
Right.
Cheers. Yeah, there you go, JV. Might get lucky.
Cheers, Alex.
That's tasty. Those Beer Tree beers, man, they have not done me wrong yet. If you guys can get these Beer Trees beers, please do, because a little sour, because that's what it says, raspberry sour and all that. Very, very creamy. There's a creaminess to it. So I taste the blueberry though, or blue raspberry. Oh, that's what it is. Not blueberry. Blue raspberry. Idiot. Stupid me. I get those days. I keep saying blueberry. It's freaking blue raspberry. Now, don't get me wrong. Kind of looks like a grape to me, if you get what I'm putting down. Kind of looks like the purple. You'd think, at least in my opinion, you would think, oh, blue raspberry. Be blue. But
You are right, Alex.
yeah, you get it.
Totally agree with you right there.
Yeah, you get what I'm putting down there, Legendary Andrew, because when you get a blue raspberry, it's blue. Or whatever it is. So, yeah. So let's continue to drink this. That's very creamy. That has a great creamy mouthfeel. You taste that blueberry, not blueberry, blue raspberry, a little bit of tart, like a little tart, a little bit of sour as I'm drinking it. It kind of gives you a little salvation, what's the saying? I can't say it. In the mouth, it makes your mouth water. I'm gonna say that because it's much easier. Like a dessert beer.
It makes your milk. Jesus, now you got me doing it, Alex. It makes your mouth salivate.
Thank you. Thank you. That's what I was thinking in the brain. I couldn't get out. Thanks, Chief. And there's a little bit of sweetness to it too. But if you don't like sours, this is definitely not for you because it'll like go into that creamy sweetness a little bit. And sour right on the palate, right off the bat. So you got that creamy and stuff like that. You got that creaminess, what's called blue raspberry flavor, and then you got that sweetness, and then because the rest of it is going fully sour. So if you don't like sour, this would not be for you. It's not like a Drecker that you'll just have that total. You get the fruit in this, but if you get, it's not like a Drecker because Drecker series you'll get like a creaminess, a sweetness, and a sour in the very, very, very towards the end, meaning it's like really, really down there to the point it's not there. So, like me, I like a little bit of sour, but I also like no sour. So, but this beer is also good that I would get it again. I mean, great flavor. I mean, Beer Tree, again, has treated me well. I mean, it's kind of like a Drecker, but this is a little thick, but not as thick as it would as a Drecker, because a Drecker would have all lacing all over the glass, although kind of does, but it's not like, thick. So I'm going to shut up now. Enjoy the rest of this beer. It's very good. I'm happy that I figured all that out. Again, and also it gives you a little bit of little heartburn in there too, but that's with any of these beers. So if you don't want to have heartburn, I mean, I don't get heartburn often, but I just get a little tickle. So it's not too bad. So I'll give you the rating and stuff like that next time around. And thank you for letting me join Legendary BuMpy. Appreciate you.
Well, cheers. Thank you, Alex.
Cheers,
Alex.
Alex.
Bring miscellaneous up.
Cheers, everybody. So, yeah, I've got a local brewery here. This is out of Vero Beach, Florida. This is Walking Tree Brewery. This is their, what is that? Volksmarsch Marzen. Comes in at 5.3% ABV. This will be the first, I think, Oktoberfest Marzen beer I've actually tried this year, except for the Rausch Marzen. So, yeah, it says crisp, caramel, malty. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get into it.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Or smells. Or pours.
Prost.
Smellers.
Yeah. Got the old, Dan say, the old Dirty Glass Mafia.
Oh, that's a dirty
Much
glass.
better, much
Mafia.
better.
You're in deep. You're going to get whacked, bud.
So, yeah, it's one finger. It's a kind of soapy, sudsy looking head, little frothy, very, very effervescent beer on the nose. It's a little bit floral, hoppy, caramel, almost like a honey oat type of note. say there's just a hint of grain, which I don't think is bad. It typically works with style like this bready. I'd say wheat bread crust. Smells really good, man. Looks pretty good. Color, dark, amber color. Yeah, let's drink it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Here's miscellaneous.
It is light-bodied, crisp, high carbonation to it. I'd say medium high carbonation. I do get just a slight. It's a floral, grassy, like hop coming in with it. Notes of caramel, or you get them on towards the finish. Not an overly sweet beer, not overly bitter, pretty balanced. Yeah, I'd say just there's a tad hint of bitterness on the back end. You get around the sides of the tongue, but it's not overpowering. I actually like this. This is a nice balance with like like I said, grassy floral hoppiness with a nice caramel malty beer. I actually think this is pretty good for the ABV. Definitely drinkable for sure. It's got a good drinkability to it. So I could see myself having a 4-pack of these and not having a bad afternoon. Pretty light for what it is, for as hefty as a beer as it looks. Mouthfeel. Pushing towards medium. I'd still say it's on the lighter side on the body, but not bad. Cheers. Oh yeah, and it was $10 for a 4-pack, so not bad.
Nice. There you go.
Nice.
Cheers, miscellaneous.
Yeah, I forgot to show, yeah, and they are independent. They're independent.
Oh yeah.
Cheers.
Awesome.
A little bit hoppier for most Marzens that I've had, though. Yeah,
That's I'd kind of like that. I kind of like the fest beers that are a bit hoppier, lager. It seems like so.
it's not bad though.
A Marzen IPA. There's an idea.
Like have like this thing that like the scent like 6 point, like a Bengali looking type of.
I'm sure Abomination has already done it in some way, shape, or form.
That's Nick.
Where did that come from?
Florida.
I didn't realize I didn't change my avatar. My daughter needed to get something on the other side of the room.
Cheers, Miss Lace. Thank you.
Cheers. Sorry. That's what happens when you do too much GHP. Don't do it.
Oh. All right. Cool. So I got one from Single Hill Brewing. I don't know where they're from. Yakima, Washington. It was canned July 5th. It's a West Coast Pilsner at 5.3%. It's called the Sportsman. Got a cool like van like mine in the driveway. So let's open it.
Single cut. I've seen their products before. I've never tried any of them though.
I think I've had a couple. I'm gonna stop right there. Yeah. Dirty glass in the bottom. Oh well. It's pretty effervescent, kind of cloudy, kind of hazy, a little chill haze. 2-finger head, white head, foamy and like really foamy. Wow. Lacing up real nice. This is floral. It smells like roses. Roses. That's really all I'm getting. Roses and some malt. It's not like wow, it's really rosy. I've never smelled something so rosy in my life in a beer. Also the what are those flowers in Hawaii? Gardenias. Yeah, big time. That's really all I'm getting. It's weird. Let's drink it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Oh. Oh. Oh, that tastes like roses. That tastes like I just took down anise perfume or something, like a gardenia rose perfume. It's very perfumated. It's very strange. I took some water before I did this. I was drinking on a Westie. Oh, this is strange.
Potpourri.
No, straight up gardenias and roses.
Gardenias and
Probably like a potpourri or maybe, I don't know. It breaks through and you get a little lemongrass. You get the crispy. It has a crispy, clean feel in the mouthfeel. The body's real nice and light. It goes back real nice. Good lacing. It's somewhat dry and bitter on the back, but not terrible. It's still drinkable. It just takes getting used to, you know. It's just different. It's hella different. It's got Adina Gardenia. It's got Adina hops, Chinook, and Strata. So I don't know. I'm getting weird shit on this one.
Being that floral, would you say your beer brings all the bees to the yard?
Probably. It's pretty good. It's decent. It's drinkable. You know, it's clean. So, cheers, guys. That's all I got.
Yes.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, beer man.
Cheers, beer man.
And I believe that it was Single Hill, just like that, right?
Single Hill, yeah.
Brewing. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I think we were bringing up Tanner, Mr. Tanner.
All right. Well, I believe I've had a couple of their beers. I haven't dabbled too much with their products. This is Finback Brewery.
Yeah, I believe so. I've heard of Finback, but I've never had their beers yet.
We were just talking about this off air. You're not going to be able to read anything off the can because it's all written in silver. Oh, there you go.
I would say that's kind of hard to read, Legendary Tanner.
Read it. Read it.
Okay.
Wait a minute. That's confusing. It seemed like it wasn't even there.
Hold on, Alex. Read it. Read it.
I can't see crap. You're bad.
Yeah, so this is their yellow cake. It's IPA with lemon and vanilla.
Yes.
Beer Advocate considers it a milkshake IPA. Canned on date is 8/18/22, so it's got a good date. It's about a month old. What are we at? 19th. So yeah, pretty much a month. It actually says don't drop. I think it says don't drop this shit, but I can't really read the bottom. It got cut off, but it says don't drop shit. So there's a word that's missing there. But I believe it says don't drop this shit. I don't know why, but yeah, so I saw this in the store. I saw this in the store yesterday, and I thought that this would be a good one to check out. I haven't seen many milkshakes lately, so pour this up.
Well, Legendary Tanner, if I ever see that, I'll message you because I've been wanting to look for Finback. I heard their breweries.
I got a nice Alex pour in honor of Alex.
There you go, Alex, the beer master pour. Awesome, Tanner.
I did watch this. I guess I'm part of that Dirty Glass Mafia.
Let me see if I'm part of that. I don't know if I am.
Let me see if I'm part of that. All right, it's got this. It's definitely a nice. I'd say hazy, more hazy. It's on the lighter side, like straw color, hazy straw color. Yeah, I'd say hazy straw color. Produces this nice tuna, about 2-finger frothy white head on top. A little rocky, but definitely a holding some good retention there. And yeah, it looks good. This was actually kind of spendy. It was $6.15 for the single can. And yeah, looks good. So let's dive into the nose of this. So cheers, guys.
Cheers.
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 Nosedive.
Yeah.
I'm actually getting a decent amount of papaya.
Nice.
I'm not really getting much vanilla. I'm getting more of like a juicy tropical IPA, papaya, and pineapple. I guess there's a little bit of like a lemony, citrusy note there. A bit of some sweet malts. honey-like sweetness, some breadiness. Actually, oh, there you go. I'm getting a little bit of a. Oh wow, that actually opened up. Wow, it actually. I'm not going to say it actually. I'm not. It's kind of got a. I'm getting that vanilla note now. It's kind of got like a lemon and vanilla frosting. That's a little different. I wasn't getting it off rip. I was getting a little bit more of that papaya, but I'm guessing as it opens up and it gets it starts to oxidize a little bit. Yeah, I'm getting like a nice yellow, or like not a yellow, lemony, like citrusy and frosting note. And that breadiness is kind of adding towards that like sugary, sweet cakiness. That smells actually really good. And like I said up front, it was when I first poured it, I was getting more of like a papaya and pineapple. But now that it's opening up, I will say the aroma on this is pretty damn good. So I'm going to dive into this. So cheers, guys.
Cheers. Please be delicious.
Cheers.
I'd drink that.
Do a little swirl for Dan.
Cheers.
I'd take a stab at it for sure.
Please be delicious.
So it definitely has a thick mouthfeel, creamy mouthfeel, like you would get like a milkshake IPA. I got that papaya and pineapple again. I'd say this is more juicy, tropical, hazy IPA up front. And then the aftertaste just kind of, it leaves you with that lemon and the vanilla. There's a big breadiness in between. I guess you could say it's kind of on that cakey vibe, doughy.
Did you say kinky?
Cakey,
Oh,
Cakey.
like cake. Yeah, it's definitely giving off like a little bit of like a earthy, maybe like a little bit of like a peppery spice hop. Actually, just burped a little bit, kind of. I got a little bit of like a vanilla frosting. So it does have like the sugary, sweet vanilla aftertaste. But as far as like yellow cake, it's not really up front. I guess it's kind of reminiscent on the back end. But for the most part, it's definitely a juicy, tropical New England IPA up front. And then the aftertaste is like somewhat reminiscent of like a like yellow cake, like the white cake, and like a little bit of like that vanilla frosting. So it is fairly sweet on the back end. There's a little bit of an acidity, slightly dry, little to no bitterness. It's got a little bit of a drying aspect, but I wouldn't necessarily call it bitter. It's definitely a unique IPA, and it does fit the bill for like a milkshake, creamy, juicy, tropical IPA. But maybe after a couple more sips and when we're hanging out, maybe I'll pick up a little bit more of that actual yellow cake note that they're calling this. But overall, I'm enjoying it. I did get a little bit of what they're kind of going for with the aroma and a little bit on the palate. But for the most part, what I'm getting up front right now is more of just like a juicy tropical IPA with a lemony, sugary, vanilla like sweetness finish. So I'm enjoying it. And yeah, whenever we get back to it, I'll have a number for this and possibly some more flavor notes. So cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, Dan. Thank you. All right. We were off to Dan. FLX.
Get out of that. That was a
Be
little
sure to
loud.
unmute. I always leave it on mute when I start talking. My new brew is Miller. No, not really. So actually tonight I picked up this is Warsteiner. This is their Dunkel. I've never had anything from Warsteiner. I've never.
Oh, bro, that's a good beer.
So yeah, I mean I picked it up today. Me and Mikey were out and about picking up doing a beer haul. And so I picked up a single of this and yeah, give it a go. Is it twist off? No. That's always a good sign, right?
The Germans.
If
The twisties.
I was a real man, I would have done it with my teeth.
Mm-mm.
So I really like the Dunkel from like Von Trapp and stuff. I've had a couple other Dunkels. It's kind of like a, I don't know, not a style I haven't had, but I haven't had many of them. So I'm eager to maybe find one that really, fits the bill on this. Yeah, so it's almost like a tobacco colored, almost like a tobacco leaf. If you hold it right around the light, oh, here comes a car. I got the window open. It's getting loud for a minute, but you can see through it. Moderate carbonation, just rising up. About a finger's worth of kind of rocky head. Give it a little swirl. Oh man, dude, that smells delicious. It smells so it has that like bready, biscuity kind of thing to it, but it's all like roasted and toasted. It smells like a light roast, like breakfast coffee almost, with some like slight sugar daddy, but not as sweet. If you took the sugar away from sugar daddy, what
Daddy.
would that be? Like a Mary Jane or something, or a bit of honey, like a bit of honey. You ever had those? They're delicious. That's what I'm smelling. So yeah, let's dive in.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, dude.
Cheers, bro.
It's like that. I like that company that makes some solid stuff.
Wow. First and foremost, with all that carbonation on the bottom just bubbling up, this thing is actually pretty smooth and not quite creamy, but it's kind of airy on the mouth. Yeah, this is pretty dang good. All those aromas kind of carry over. I will say there is a bitterness on there, almost like a dark chocolate borderline when you were a kid and you thought there was cool chocolate in the cupboard and you bit into it and it was your mom's baking chocolate and like that's the moment you realize you fucked up. Kind of like that kind of thing going on. But yeah, there is like a sweet kind of Cheerio aspect at the end, like a honey nut Cheerio. Whoa, look at that slice. Dang.
Yeah,
Is that 2 slices of pizza?
Now
Jeez.
this is really good. I could slam a bunch of these. I'm actually a bit upset. I've only bought a single, but I mean it's available around. And I just noticed it's a little bit past the best before date, but it's still drinking fabulous. Best before it says August 17th, but it's still damn good. So it is what it is. All right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Dan.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, bro.
All right. That was Dan with the FLX.
Glad that worked
reviews
out
of the
for you.
Warsteiner Brewery, the Dunkel. Let's take this off now. I guess it's my turn. Josh never showed up.
yeah, I'm surprised he
Well,
didn't.
he'll show up after you're done.
Oh, yeah, right in the last
We'll be into question time. It'll be time.
Gonna pull an Alex. Hey, you mind if I join? All right. Well, for my beer, this one comes in a collaboration between Casa Agria Specialty Ales and Timber Ales, which I believe is all brewed out of the 12% Project out of North Haven, Connecticut. And this one is called Lost Memories. It is an imperial stout aged on coconut and almonds, and it's 12% ABV as well.
Coconut, my favorite.
I'd
This
take a
was
stab.
canned on March 29th, 2022. So less than 5 months old. just a little bit. Let's give it a 4.
What style is that, Bumpy? I'm sorry.
An Imperial Stout.
Oh, okay.
That's a big Imperial.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's not barrel aged. It's just aged on coconut and almonds. So let's see if there's any of those nutty notes there. Wow, it's looking like it's motor oil thick. That's a lot of these Imperial Stouts that come out of the 12%. I know that they're different breweries and stuff. It's those breweries beers and stuff, but a lot of them seem to be these really thick stouts. So this thing has a funky head. It looks like I don't know, dragon eggs kind of forming all over the place. Kind of a if this was the moon, you know, you just see it from afar with the holes, old cheese moon. But I don't know what to call this head. It's like not rocky really, but it is, and it's not really frothy, but it kind of is a little bit. It's soap sudsy, and it's a dark mocha colored head, and it's a black beer. Some aromas on this thing. Lots of chocolate. It almost smells like there's marshmallow in it, or at least vanilla. So I'm not sure if that's a mixture between like the coconut and maybe the almond. I almost get like a slight cherry type nose as well. Like if it was what's that drink, that alcoholic beverage? It's some type of nut. Amarillo, whatever it is. It kind of has like a slight kind of cherry, but
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
that's kind of what I'm getting at when I say cherry. It's not like full on like, oh, it's black cherry or maraschino cherry. It's just Amarillo. I'll just call it that beverage. Oh, there we go. Leave it to the guy from UK, Amaretto. And good night, Shark.
Oh, you were talking about like Di Serono and stuff.
Yeah, Di Serono, I think is what he's talking about.
Amaretto. It's like a nutty, sweet.
You can kind of, I can say, I can't really say I'm picking up the coconut, but like I said, I get this kind of vanilla, but there's also this nutty vibe. So the almonds kind of stick out. Along with it's just a lot of chocolate, marshmallowy almost, and like I said, like an amaretto or whatever type of nose. All right, well, anyways, I've talked enough about it on the aromas. Cheers.
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 Yeah, Bumpy.
Here's Bumpy.
Oh yeah, that's thick. That's a full body. Woo. Okay. First off, I have to talk about the sensation going on in my mouth. I seem to have like little cuts. Maybe I bit my cheeks here and there. And this beer is burning the hell out of any imperfection in my mouth right now. So I think the ABV is hitting like an anti-stick. Wow. It's chocolatey. Like if you made hot chocolate and used twice the amount of packets or scoops that you need, and then maybe like a third less of the water, and you kind of just left with that thick chocolate fudgy. That's kind of like it's like that. There's a little bit of a mild graininess kind of coming up on the tail end. I do get the almonds. There's still something in there that does remind me of amaretto. slight there's a breadiness to it, to the malt. A roast kind of near the end. I'm picking up on some roasted malt character now. The alcohol is stinging my mouth. It does burn in my throat as well.
Hmm.
It doesn't come out. It doesn't taste like alcohol per se, but it's something that you can feel.
Any coconut flavor?
I'm not really picking out coconut. Like I said, even in the nose, it kind of came off more like vanilla almost, or marshmallow.
Okay. So maybe that's what you're tasting, the vanilla instead of coconut. I don't know. It's a mystery to me.
Yeah, this is a pretty thick beer. This is going to take a while to drink, which is probably a good thing, I guess. But yeah, this would be, if you're going to drink this. I bought one can. I'm so glad I bought one can. This is something you want to share for sure. I think about half this can would be plenty, and then move on to something else. It's a little bit more thirst quenching. So, anyways, let's get to the little group thing where we all do our little free for all. That way, everybody can just chat. Free for all. Woo!
I think the best part about this beer is I paid $1.89 for the bottle.
They're cheap.
great.
It's like $7 for like a 6-pack of that.
Yeah, when I was
Very
looking at single,
inexpensive for what it is.
so where I buy it, I got this AJ's Beer Warehouse in Henrietta, New York, and so they list like how much it is for the case, how much it is for like a 6-pack or 4-pack, and then the single. And I thought at first it said like a 4 or something, and I'm looking at it, I was like, $1.89. I look at Mike, I was like, right? So yeah, definitely all day.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, this is great, man. I like it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's like nothing like mind blowing in the world of Dunkels from what I've had, but it's really good for the price. Like
for what it is, it's a decent product. I totally agree with that. Like I said, that brewery I've had a few things from, and I just like their stuff.
Yeah, I was in full import mode. I just got the new batch of Celebrator just came out. I had to buy a 4-pack of that.
I like the import aisle, man, and like I said, they do have some expensive shit down there too. But
I got yeah, man.
Most of it's pretty moderately priced.
Yeah. Well, Beer Man, how's your trip in the garden going, buddy? Has that thing changed yet? Is it warmed or?
It's got more of like a white grape and it's dry finish. A lot of things came out after.
Okay.
You know,
are you happy with it overall, or are you just kind of like, yeah, it's all right?
I am. It's decent. You know, it's scored like Untapped scores it like a 3.89, but I'm kind of in that range, sort of. But
Okay.
it's thinned out on the. It still has like a gardenia thing, but it's not as big. It's more in the finish and in the front, but in the middle, it kind of gives you that bready character of it. It's a German Pilsner base, so you're adding a little bit of Westy-ism to it. So it's really, really interesting to kind of sift through it, through the mouth there. It's good. It's different. It's a special one for sure. So I'm not unhappy. It's drinkable. So, yeah.
That's the thing about beer, though, right? It's rare that you're just like not happy you're having a beer. You're just like, you can be like, you know,
yeah,
I'm
I
not
can throw it out right now, but I'm drinking it. You know, yeah. I've had some beers that are just like, no, throw it, no,
For sure, dude.
you know, this is all right. So
I don't know.
I think
This beer that I have is definitely going to weigh in on where it's from. I don't know, man. Florida is very hit or miss on their breweries. But that big fancy list Josh showed yesterday, we had, I think, 3 or 4 breweries on there, so it wasn't too bad.
Nice.
Giant ass beer festival thing.
So that didn't surprise me, BuMpy, when you poured that beer. Just because, like, every like beer like that from timber ales I've had, just it pours like it's just straight liquefied, just motor oil.
It's a lot like the Who Farted stouts and stuff, which also come out of 12%.
Yeah,
that's why I'm like, it's like every stout that comes out of 12% seems to be.
Yeah, it's like the other night I posted a picture. I drank one from Front Porch Brewing, and that was out of 12%. It was like a 7-layer stout, and it was just like this super thick, syrupy kind of dessert boy kind of stout. I mean, I wasn't mad at it, but it was definitely an all-night affair.
This is one of those beers where you get what they're talking about every couple of sips.
Okay.
And then you take another sip and you're like, and then you try it again, you're like, oh yeah. And you take another sip and you're like,
Did it have a little treat at the bottom?
No.
I'm shocked.
It's totally like that though.
So, are you undecided or?
I don't know. I mean, I'm getting sips where it's like it really does. I do get like a sugary, cakey, doughy, and like a vanilla frosting, and then sometimes I'm getting other sips where it's like it just tastes juicy and IPA-ish.
Have you ever drank a beer and it's like towards the end of the night and you just set the empty glass on the counter and you forget to rinse it, and then the next day
almost every night that I drink too much.
Right. I would be very interested to, like, if you didn't rinse that glass, just the next day, if you smelled like a bunch of that vanilla and stuff,
Yeah. No, I can see that. The nose, the aroma, I definitely would say is like, and it's funny too because there are some beers that are really like, the aroma is what they put on the can, but then when you sip it, it's like a totally different realm, And then it would be the opposite, where it's like you smell you take a whiff of the beer and it's like, this doesn't taste like that, and then you drink it and you're like, holy shit, it tastes like what they put on the can. So it's like sometimes it's like very wishy-washy. But like I'm saying with this one, it seems like certain sips are like phenomenal. I'm getting this cakey, doughy vanilla frosting on the finish, and then other sips I'm taking and it's like, okay, this just tastes like a really thick, creamy milkshake IPA, and I'm not really getting that like citrusy yellow cake and like frosting flavor. And I think like I said, there's like a papaya note. So I don't know if maybe it's because of the fact that it's only a month old. So it could be the fact that it's like super fresh, but I don't know. I don't know when these guys tried it and they were like, oh yeah, that tastes like yellow cake. That tastes like
super fresh only works for the first week.
Nah, sometimes.
No, I mean, isn't super fresh the second week and hyper fresh is the first week?
Well, you're only a newborn baby on the day you're born.
Yeah,
After that, you're
I don't
That's a
think
good point.
Has anything to do with beer though? No, but I've had some beers that are really held up at like that month span, and then I'll just be like, I'll buy a 4-pack or something, and like the month I had it, like, yeah, it's okay, and then you go back to it like a month later, and you're like, oh, this is actually really good. So it all depends. I don't know. IPAs are so weird. IPAs are one of the strangest styles to where the date, I don't think you can necessarily say, as long as it's like not 4 or 5 months old. I think between that like 1 and 3 months is really where you can find where the beer is like it's at its best, And
like Bell's used to, I don't know since they've switched hands, but they used to do that. They'd put shelf life on like their double IPAs and shit. It would say 3 months on the package.
I actually just picked up a can of Bell's today. The double hearted.
Nice.
So.
Oh, the double? Yeah, that shit's good.
I've never had that. So
I like it. I thought it was pretty good for what it was.
See, it's those IPAs though, Tanner, that I think it almost depends too on like what kind of IPA it is. Like I feel like certain
If I could get the Enjoy By before the Enjoy By date, that would be great.
I think like maybe certain hazies will fall off a little bit sooner than like West Coast or whatever for some reason.
The loggers is what I see pushing in my Google feed. Like, are loggers going to take the mainstream back of the beer scene? And there's a lot of there's a lot of articles I've seen popping up.
The biggest problem that I noticed with West Coast IPAs, like West Coast IPAs, is they're super hop forward and they have that bitterness. And for the most part, they add a lot of sweetness to kind of cut through that West Coast bitterness. Now, if you let them go past a certain date, that malt literally just like steamrolls over the bitterness. But there is a certain freshness date where it's like, okay, the bitterness is great, and you just got this little bit of this sweetness that really adds to it. But once it gets past that certain date, it just starts to become a big malt bomb, and it's not enjoyable.
Steals off.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So I don't know. That's actually a really good statement that you said right there. I couldn't tell you the difference between how long a New England and how long a West Coast, because there's certain factors that come into play with that.
A lot.
Yeah, definitely.
You got aromas and flavors on a New England, and you got a big bitterness kick. You know, an early addition on the
which are usually
boil, you know,
usually subdued by like sweetness, like malty sweetness. You know, like the West usually has like a lot of bitterness, and they add a lot of hops, and they do like a lot of
their balance is different.
Yeah.
I feel like the higher IBUs stand a better chance
well,
at
it's not
masking the
West
malt.
Coast too. They have the Northwest style, which is different. It's a dark, like a more
toffee.
It's a more caramel, but you still getting the pop. Oh, Kyle, I'm surprised you came back after yesterday. You know you knew you were going to lose.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I'm a cheesehead. And every time we see the Bears.
Well, I will tell you what, right now is a national holiday in my state.
Appreciate you, Kyle.
Bills by a billion. Hashtag.
Well, apparently we're all doodle heads in Sam's eyes.
Sam's called me a lot worse than that. Shit, I appreciate the compliment.
Doodle head.
I got different things like you were saying, Tanner. Different flavors coming out on every sip. It started with that gardenia rose, and then it started going into a grapefruit white grape, kind of weird piney thing. It's like it's all a matter of how it's like layers of hops that you're feeling in the beer as it warms. It's like this.
Yeah.
You just start to kind of
it oxidizes, because that's the thing with whiskey.
As it oxidizes, yeah.
Whiskey is like that, like a lot. Like even when you open up a fresh bottle, that beginning of that bottle of whiskey isn't going to taste the same as the last fourth of that bottle. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's a lot with like tasting in general, with like beverages that are, you know, beer is different because you're going to pour
even the cheese, bro.
Yeah, cheese.
You said I've gone back to like from beer and cheese, and once you open it, then you go back and have some more, and like, whoa, this is totally different than what I had.
Yeah.
Right.
Flavors, man.
That's why temperatures and glassware is all important. You know,
Yeah,
how you serve it. I mean,
I need to get one of those dimple stones like BuMpY's got, one of those short ones.
Carbonation levels.
I'm gonna give my beer a score right now for this Lost Memories from Casa Agria Specialty Ales and Timber Ales out of the 12% project. It's a bit too much on the kind of thick mouthfeel and almost cloyingly sweet side. Not enough coming out of the malts for me. I mean, there's like 3 different flavors, but I would have liked some like dark fruit notes, just something else, you know, other than super chocolate fudginess. And yeah, I'm at a 38 out of 50. So
Ooh,
that lands as it lands as a good beer.
I'd still drink it. I'd buy it.
Yeah. I don't think I rated my beer.
Nobody did, I don't think.
Yeah.
No.
Nope. Only Let's Drink BuMpY did.
Out of say out of 5 Alex the Beer Master pizza slices, I'll give this 3.5 Alex the Beer Master pizza slices.
Unfortunately, I've had 3 now. 5, but close enough. 3 slices.
We go back for the other half when we
Alex,
go off.
do I have to put that in there?
No,
Take a break, BuMpy.
No, I give it probably like a 3.75. 3.75.
Oh, okay.
Seriously, 3.75. It's
Out of
not
50?
like anything. Like I said, it's not anything mind blowing, but it's great for what it is, and the price point to me brings up that rating a little bit. I know some people hate when you say, "Oh, price point equals the rating," but for me, at the same time, it has some factor into it because
Yeah.
I totally agree.
If this thing was $6, I'd be like, "Well,
No, I don't know. Maybe if it costs $2, $3, maybe
Right.
I'll pick it up again.
But at the same time, there's the other side of the argument. If a good beer is a good beer, it shouldn't matter what it costs."
Yeah. So, I don't know.
But there
I
are
know where
other
you're
prices
coming
that you're
from
just
with
like,
that, though, too. It's
I
like-
am not going to pay that.
Right.
I
That-
won't
that's
pay
where
that
I-
price for a muffler.
It's like, man, you have it, you try, and you're like, man, this is good. But if I could have got it for $2 cheaper, this would have been. I probably would have recommended it. It's just expensive. It's not going to
You
appeal
would
to
buy it more.
everybody.
You know, there are certain products where it's
The
like
roll the dice for some people,
there
and
are
it's
certain products where it's like I'll spend it,
roll the dice for
like
us.
that.
sometimes.
And then there's certain products where it's like, yeah, it's good, but I'm not going to spend that extra whatever to buy that product. I can just get this. You know what I mean? So there's so much out there. There is so much out there nowadays, and it's really hard.
Don't forget to treat yourself every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. You know.
Yeah, that's why I buy other half all the time.
I have
I
good
think
stuff.
highly of myself.
One of these days.
Other half is good stuff too.
No, I mean, my personal philosophy is like, for me personally, anything I score under a 3.5, I'll never buy again. I'm not saying I won't have that beer. If I'm at a cookout and I see a Miller Lite or a little bit,
That's what they're handing you. That's what you're
whatever
drinking.
it is. But if I'm personally buying beer, if I scored it under a 3.5, I don't think, oh, PBR is a 5 all day, America. But yeah, so all right, I'll shut up now.
I got to wash down my thick chocolate marshmallow.
I'm just gonna say really
We're
quick.
gonna pour that out, BuMpy.
I'll give mine a 94 out of 100. As far as a milkshake IPA, it's definitely tasty. But as far as being like that yellow cake, I was getting hints of it, but it's not prominent enough for me to say that, oh wow, this is a super unique beer. It really does taste like yellow cake and frosting. I was getting little hints of it here and there, but it for the most part just kind of, even at the, like you said, the price point $6.15. I mean, I was just expecting a little bit more of a. I think it's a little bit lacking in the vanilla. I will say the citrusy note is there. That lemon, citrusy note. It's got those juicy tropical pineapple papaya flavors, and the breadiness is there as well. But I feel like they could have possibly done something to really amplify that sugary, doughy, cakey aspect to it, and they really could have put a little bit more vanilla in it, bumped up the like vanilla frosting like flavor. And that's not to say that this beer isn't good and you shouldn't try it. I do definitely recommend.
Why the beer's $8 a can, Paul?
Yeah, I do recommend people trying this. But me personally, it wasn't prominent enough for me to be like super ecstatic about this beer. So 94 out of 100 is definitely fair in my opinion. So.
All right.
That's fine. I didn't even see you said that, beer.
Yeah. 85 out of 100 for mine. I'll just cut it quick. Cheers. It's decent.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Alex, you want to go, bud?
Well,
You don't want to divulge on that.
I'm gonna give
No.
this. I'm gonna give this beer. If I could let you, Andrew. I'm gonna give this beer. Beer Tree has treated me well, so I'm gonna give this beer
is it, Alex?
Yeah, this is my second beer out of these beer. Out of my
Tell
second
me
beer.
Alex, how many pepperonis out of pepperonis is it?
Yeah, there was no pepperoni on my pizza, but yeah, close enough.
You were missing out.
I'm gonna give the beer a 98. Good stuff. Almost 100. It
A
should
90
get
what?
a 98.
8?
Ah, damn.
You just disappointed someone in the chat.
All right, you know what?
He came for your 100, you know.
Give it 100. Because I truly was going towards that, so I'll give it 100.
Now you're gonna give it 100 after I just damn it, Alex.
Damn it, Alex.
You can give me a nugget when we meet up again, Bumpy. That's a joke. Just playing with you.
Damn it.
It's Jeremy Vincent's fucking day.
Yeah.
Wow.
100 it is.
We got one more beer that doesn't have a score.
That would be me. So yeah, this. So like I said, I don't really this. I like this style, but I don't delve into it too much because it comes out so goddamn early. It's not the right time of year to be drinking. That's just my own opinion. It's not bad for an American version. Like I said, it's a little floral, grassy, hoppy. I'm more into the more malty, sweet caramels, toffees. Definitely was digging the bready notes on this. Brown bread, wheat bread. I did mention a touch of graininess on the nose. I don't mind it. It actually goes kind of with this style. It's one of those things where you kind of just overlook it because it is what it is. More traditional style. That being said, I've definitely had better Marzens than this, hands down, big time. I got 3 more of these, and I'm not disappointed. I'm right in Beer Man's range. I think I'm going to score this as an 85. It's a decent attempt for an American brewery out of Florida, out of Vero Beach. It's real hit or miss around here, boys. I'll tell you that. With the beer, I think I'd stand like a 3-2 out of 5, if you want to put it to that scope. I mean, it's not bad. Definitely had better. Would I seek this out on another occasion? Probably not. Cause Point, not bad. This could be your cup of tea. I just prefer the more traditional style. It's American brewed, so it's going to be a little bit more hoppy, this, that. You know, we got to bastardize everything.
Yeah.
That's a joke. I kid, but it is for the UK guys and Sam. He was getting all fired up about the adjuncts and the IPAs. But sometimes they work.
Yeah.
Back in my day, I walked 20 miles to school in the snow.
That sounded like a what Adam Sandler character did that sound like? Oh God.
Oh, Billy Madison.
Wicked.
Did you just say you eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
No.
That's the one where he goes back to school, right?
And
Back
now
to
I realized
school,
I'm
back to
muted.
school.
Back to school.
School.
He's like, thank you very
Turkey
much.
for me, turkey for you.
What does she hand him? When he's like trying to,
in my
what does he hand him? What does he hand him? Like, what does the teacher hand him? Like macaroni art or something? And he's like trying to flirt with the teacher. Whatever. He's like, thank you very much, Miss Lippy.
They're all getting high on the glue.
Tea.
That's a great movie.
I like when they're doing the
That has
the
some
studying,
liquor
and each right answer, a piece of clothing comes off, and it's like it's the chick, and she's in there. down to the bra, and you're like getting all amped up, and then the camera cuts, and it's Chris Farley just taking his shirt off.
I do want one.
Yeah, bro. He's got the
Oh.
classic move Farley does for that. It's
That's
hilarious.
a good question, Sam.
That is a good question. Are you ready for?
Uh-oh.
Are you ready for this? No, since Dan doesn't come around a lot, he can answer the question first.
I think so. I agree.
All right, so
Let's
here
say
is-
Dan has been around though. Wait, let's see.
If you
Dan,
want,
What the
ball buster Dan.
what's a beer style you didn't enjoy at first, but now really enjoy?
A beer style I didn't enjoy at first, but now really enjoy. That's the easiest question I've ever had when it comes to beer. That's the IPA. When I first started drinking beer, I got into the beer pong beers, Milwaukee's Best Ice, stuff like that, right? And then we went to some places where they had a bunch of beers on tap. We tried some different ones, and I fell in love with the Irish Stout, whether it be O'Hara's, Guinness, Murphy's, stuff like that. And then I tried Spaten Optimator for the first time. And that was crazy. I remember the first time we brought home a growler of that. You're used to drinking these guys, right? A growler of Optimator, we were feeling pretty good, because that, Doppelbox and Box and all that. But always the IPA was the last one. I was like, oh, no way. It tastes like flowers, and it was just like super bitter. And then slowly, I think I graduated into it with the Pale Ale. The Sierra Nevada was kind of the breakthrough one, right? So we had some local companies here that did IPAs, and it's kind of funny. Years later, I've gone back to try one of those. Like there's a brewery called Ithaca Brewing Company around here, and they make a beer called Flower Power. And I remember back in the day, I thought that was the most disgusting beer in the world. Is like literally sipping on a bottle of Flonase or something. It was just like disgusting. But now I go to it and I'm like, this is a light IPA. Like this is anything. But yeah, IPA for the longest time. So that's why me and Mike's in the same boat. So when we do like our videos and stuff, we're trying all these old IPAs, all the old heads kind of were used to and did it bottle shares and stuff. And we're the whales and all these great things. And we're trying it for the first time. So yeah, IPA. That's
all
it.
right.
You can
Take it.
Oh, yeah.
It's luxury Dan's already
Oh,
done
there's
it.
Kyle. Flower Power was my gateway IPA. There we go.
There we go.
Legendary Kyle from No Hype Beer Reviews. Appreciate you.
Sure, I do.
Oh, the hype.
Hanging.
Hanging from the ceiling.
Bumpy.
This is no, I can't really say that IPA was a beer style that I absolutely didn't like and now I love, because it only took me half of a glass to like IPAs. My very first IPA was Dogfish Head 60 Minutes, and I ordered it because I was out at a restaurant, and at first I was drinking it, smelling it, and it tasted like copper penny. So all I could think of was like period blood. Like, who would want this in their mouth? And then I was like, I end up finishing the glass, and I'm like, they come by and they always ask, you want another one? And I said, sure. I ended up liking it. So then I started searching out more and more IPAs. But a beer style that, at first, and it's the oddest thing as to why I didn't even like it. I don't know. I built up like an army in my head of of my favorite Belgian style, and I just couldn't like this beer for some reason. Because I love the Tripels. I was like, I'm a big Tripel fan on the Belgian side, and for some reason I just didn't like quads. And it's like, I had no real reason not to like quads. It's just so weird because it's like, I like all the flavor notes out of the quad, like individually, if I find it in other beers, like stouts, like the dark fruit notes, in different things. And there was just something about it that I was just like, I don't like quads all that much. But then, I started drinking more and more. I was actually on Joe's channel, Beer Patrol down there, and he did the Belgian quad. I think it was the Chimay series and stuff. He was asking if we could find him. I think we also did Saint Bernardus or whatever it was. But we did some quads. And that was kind of where I started like really thinking like, I actually like these flavor notes. Why am I so against quads? So I enjoy quads now. So that's my big beer turnaround. Alex?
Well, at one point, I didn't like what's it called? I forget what those beers are called. Not IPAs, but I've always liked stouts. Might have been red ales. I don't remember, but it was one of those beers, and I just didn't like it. But then, as the saying goes, they grow on you. So far I haven't had any issues with beers. Like I said, well, the one beer, like I said, what's it called? Not Evil Twin, Bad Elf or Mad Elf. I didn't like that beer. That was not my cup of tea. It didn't taste good to me. But when I went back months later, I drank it with a clean palate, and I was able to taste the cherry, so I liked it that way. So apparently, it was a disgusting beer, no taste beer when I was already drinking beers prior. So when I drank that Mad Elf beer, it was delicious. After the fact, I didn't have any beer that day yet. So that was a beer I did not like. That was a style I didn't like, or a flavor, or whatever. But it may be good again. I don't know. It was good when I didn't drink any beer. So we'll see what happens if I drink it again. But other than that, all depends. All depends. What's legendary beer patrol legendary? Joe says, is Alex drinking? What is it?
Another heavily fruited sour.
Yes, I am legendary. Joe, you do know everything, just like Mr. BuMpY here. Hold on.
And it also says one day he'll show up with a Helles and we'll all be flabbergasted.
Yeah. And it's from Beer Tree. I'm pretty sure you get these beers. Joe, you get a lot of beers. Wow. As a matter of fact, you get a lot of froth beers. I've drank. Wow. I'll have to show you off before we go off air. I have one of the beers. I think it's me and legendary Tanner. I'm gonna have to review that beer.
You don't need to show him before we go off air. I'm sure he'll join up in the off air.
I give it just Brian.
If you gotta
your show, Joel, sign up. No,
you gotta fish. You gotta fish.
That's all I gotta say.
The Bills game is on. He ain't doing nothing.
Oh, you said
no. So I'll show you Joe when you come on off air.
He won't now. The Bills game's on apparently.
Joe's a big Buffalo fan.
Okay, well that's understandable. Out of respect. All right, I'll show him.
He's probably drinking Thin Man's. What is it? The Buffalo Rangers or whatever the hell?
I never heard the Thin Man's Buffalo Ranger beer.
Whatever the
Thin Man Buffalo Rangers, but that's what you're gonna get.
They make a bunch of beers.
So
don't they do one for the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah. Yes. So when I do my shout outs, since you're not gonna jump on, I'll show you the beer. That means the legendary Tanner are going to be doing soon. It's from Froth, but you'll see when we get next time around. Appreciate it. Cheers. All right. Appreciate you, BuMpY.
All right. Thanks, Alex. On to miscellaneous.
All right. So style-wise, it's kind of hard to hit it on the head for me. It's more mine was like the wild ferment, the open ferment. It didn't matter from Saison or wild ale to even styles like Oud Bruins and stuff, where you just it's real hit or miss, you know. And you have one, and you're like, that was pretty good. Then you have another one, you're like, oh, that was fucking trash, you know. And you gotta. It takes some time, you know, and you really have to start drinking more of that, like something that you gotta get acclimated to it. Your palate, you can't just jump in there and be like, oh yeah, I could drink anything, yeah. And you have this thing, you're like, what the. But eventually, you can have more beers in that style, and I preach this shit all the time. Is that just because you had an experience with the one style from one company doesn't mean that the beer is gonna. It could be. It's totally different. They're all different. Depends on region, what's in the air, what time of year, all kinds of different shit that goes on. But it was the wild, like horse blanket, band-aids, medical equipment, different types of aromas, flavor notes that you get off this stuff. It's just crazy. Um, I guess you do expand your palate, people. Try shit. I tell people this all the time. This is the greatest thing I can say. Somebody came to
Take the
me and they're
blueprint.
like, "Oh, well, I had this IPA and I didn't like it." I said, "Well, maybe that IPA sucked."
Yeah.
There's, how many different styles there are. You can't just be like, "Oh, I just bought an IPA." You don't even know what that is. So that's how I feel about the wild fermented open ferment was something for me palate wise to get over, and I do enjoy it. I love them, but they are very hit or miss too. You can have some really good ones, or you can have some really bad ones, which makes it tough by, I guess, style. You know what I mean? Cheers.
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 Wild open ferment beers for me was something I had to get over palate wise.
Thank you, Miscellaneous.
Cheers.
Cheerios. That's for the English folk. Cheerio.
Say beer man.
Hi. Yeah, so there's a couple that were like my worst, and I still can't handle it's Belgian, any Belgian style, like I have a hard time with even today, only because I respect them because I know about them and I've had a lot of them, but I just, it's not something that I go to. But I do have more respect for any kind of like yeasty, footlockery kind of, even like you're saying, the wilds with the bread and MICs and stuff like that, like the crazy funky locker room crap. It takes getting used to, you gotta acclimate, like you said. But the main one was the sours, man. The traditional sours, the ones that are really sour, the puckery.
Yeah, dude.
God, yeah, they were just so, I did not understand
That's my
them,
jam.
and now I like them. Now I can. You don't drink a lot of them because they'll give you some major heartburn. They'll really screw up your esophagus and stomach lining and everything else. But they're, I like the fruited sours. Even the traditional, like a traditional wheat, like a goza or something like that with no fruit, just like straight up boom vinegar. It's kind of good sometimes to try those things, even with the smokiness or. I like a lot of different styles of sours now, so it's interesting to see that. And I like the wilds. Wilds were weird too to me, and the list can go on. So that's a good question, man. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Beer man.
Dun dun dun. Tanner time.
Tanner time. Speaking of wankers.
All right. So, when I first started working for the liquor store, so I worked at a liquor store worked at one liquor store for like 5 years, and that was one of the longest jobs I've ever had. That's when I actually started doing my channel. Got wicked into whiskey, drinking beers, and I was a really big fan of porters and stouts. But I was just, I don't know. I was just, to be honest, I was just kind of scared to try IPAs. I was just, I didn't know what they were. I heard a lot of people saying they didn't like them, so I never really tried them as much. And I had a couple, and I wasn't the biggest fan. And then I, dived more into them, and I really started liking IPAs. And that was probably the first style that I was scared to try, and I really do enjoy. And that's probably my favorite style nowadays. Um, but other than that, other than IPAs, New England IPAs, West Coast IPAs, because I pretty much like any style IPA now, was wheat beers. And I remember having like Blue Moon, and I wasn't a fan of them. I didn't really like wheat beers. And then I started to try like more of the German style, like wit beers. And that's really what actually kind of sold me on the wit beers. And even just doing Beer Man's show, and just kind of being for I wouldn't say necessarily forced, but kind of being told to be like, oh, pick this style and find this. And I really did kind of adventure out and grab some wheat beers or some German style wit beers, and I really did enjoy them, and I gave them some great scores. So for the most part, it was pretty much on the IPAs that is like my favorite nowadays, and wheat beers. But like I said, I've had some German ones that are really good, and like I said, the Blue Moon and some of those other ones I'm not really a big fan of. I probably want to go back to, but if I do drink a wheat beer, it would for the most part be more of a foreign beer for I'm going to drink that style. And I guess that's it just kind of comes down to play where you might not like a style from a certain side of the world that's doing it, and you might not like their example of that style, but you might try something else from somewhere else, and you might really enjoy it. So that's just kind of how I looked at it. And like Miscellaneous said, you might try one and you might hate it. You might be like, oh, I hate that style. I don't like that style. I'm never going to try it again. But definitely branch out and try styles from different companies and people who have been doing it for years and years. And Weinstefaner, they make some pretty good wit beers, and I will say that I recommend them to people. But back then, when I first started my YouTube channel, I wouldn't really recommend. Well, I would recommend them to people who enjoy that style, but it wasn't personally, in my opinion, something that I would pick up on a regular basis, and it wouldn't be something that I would look forward to searching for and finding. So it is nice when you kind of branch out and try different styles from different people, because you might try a beer from a certain company and you might not like it, and then you try something from another company and you're like, wow, this is a great style. So there's a lot that comes into play when you're trying styles, and it might just be like where you get it from or who brewed it that really changes your opinion on a certain style. So it's cool to definitely branch off and try it from someone else, and just not just be like, oh, this person made a bad one, so I'm never going to try that style again. Because that's just kind of how it is. I guess you could say that for any style.
Yeah.
Like an IPA, you could try from somebody who doesn't necessarily do IPAs that well.
Yeah.
And you can go to somebody who really does a great job doing IPAs and really like it.
Resurgence. Buffalo Resurgence.
But yeah, like I said, I don't know. It's definitely been it's been a weird experience where you're just not really too sure on something you're diving into when you're new at it, and you might find something down the line that you really like, and you'll start to pick up those products more often. So that's pretty much it. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I wanted to tag one more type of style because I did say what I said, but the Trappist too. Any of that Trappist stuff, if you ain't used to it, you ain't probably not gonna like it the first time you try it.
I hear you.
Different, yes.
Very different.
Yeah.
I think everybody's
But that still falls under like the umbrella though. Open ferment and all that.
Yeah, in the mash. That's right. Kettle sours. Yep. Yeah, man.
That's a really good question. You know, especially when you're first starting, you're getting into it, and you really don't know what to expect, and you hear it. You know, you might live in a certain area where it's more common for people to not like certain styles. And you'll hear a lot of negative opinions, but you know, you always have to try it for yourself. Your personal preference is what's really going to sell you down the line. You know, just because everybody on this panel says they don't like a certain style doesn't mean that somebody might love that style and they might buy that style every single day, you know.
Everybody has their own opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the greatest thing about doing reviews and
having different palates.
yeah,
Trying everything.
yes, keeping in an open mind.
We're
Even
trying. We're trying, beer man. We're
Yeah,
trying.
and it's kind of like that with
So
everything.
am I.
Really think about it. It's like that with everything, you know. Even like with your cheese, there, beer man. You know, it's like there's certain cheeses that everybody on the panel could be like, "Oh, this cheese is great," and then one person could be like, "I don't like this at all."
Ugh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of, you know.
Like a hair on
Yeah,
my
but
nose.
that doesn't mean they can't join the Legendary Beer Man's cheese show
Oh,
again.
of course, yeah.
You know, it's just
Everybody has their own opinions. You know,
Yeah.
you shouldn't knock somebody on having a different opinion.
Yeah, Alex, we've been missing you over there. We know you like cheese.
You
Now's
have.
the time if you guys want to do any
Interesting.
promos, shout outs.
You know, I might surprise you one of these days. 'Cause I do love my cheese. You're correct. Okay, BuMpy just said something.
Oh,
I guess I'll go. Hey, gang. FLX Beer Reviews here, inviting you to a fun-filled weekend at BeerTuber Palooza. There may be a live stream. Therell be future upcoming content. It'll feature me, Massive Beers, Beer Patrol, Joe from Beer Patrol, Kyle from No Hype Beer Reviews, Tanner from East Coast LQ Beer Reviews, BuMpy from Bumpy Road Brews, and Kyle. Did I say Kyle?
Yeah, I think
He's
you
from
said
93
Kyle from
Lumber, Sean and Mike from Nerd Sense.
Take a second look at my name there, Dan.
Guy,
Matt from Massive Beer Reviews, if you remember correctly.
got the FLS.
You're gonna poke Bumpy's eye out if you don't keep
Jersey.
steady there, Tim.
There'll be a bunch of people there. We're
Let's say,
hoping to
Dan,
do
you said
some.
Massive Beer Reviews too earlier, a while ago.
Yeah. We're hoping to do a live stream if we can do it. I know last year we did like a short live stream during the day with just everyone just walking in and out. It was chaos, but
Hey, Dan,
either way,
next year,
I anticipate some great content out of it. So yeah, just keep an eye out for that. I got nothing else. Check out all the guys on the panel as well. Yeah.
Ugh.
Hey, Dan, I hope to one day
In
come
my
up
mouth.
next year with you and meet you because I like to meet you and all my peeps, my new peeps anyway. What am I doing?
I'm sure you'll meet Mike one day.
Yeah.
Oh, I plan to meet you too. Dan, you are bad. You are bad. Bad. No, I mean I'm going to meet you and all my peeps that have came into my new world in the new YouTube world in the past couple months.
They got new YouTube?
Well, no, what I'm saying, they're new people to me.
Am I behind the curve?
Yeah, and I'm happy. So yeah, now that I started talking, I might as well talk. Yeah. Don't forget, Food Friday, we're gonna be doing avocado toast. Around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Bring beer or whatever. I don't care what you want to bring. I just bring whatever. And around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and then Alex and friends around between 10 o'clock 10:30. You're obviously you'll see the people here on my panel, Legendary Dan, possibly Legendary well, he's not on here, but Legendary Dan, and then also his other half, which is Mike. You'll catch him on my stream, and you'll catch everybody else on this panel too on my stream. So
Alex. My other half is other half. Mike's separate from that.
You're a jerk. Keep it up, brother. So that's what's going on there. So yeah, stay tuned for all that. I don't know what's going on with Wild Card Wednesday. So as of right now, I'm thinking Legendary Eric is still in charge of that. Meaning, this week, because you never know, I could be in charge. It all depends. Either way, if I'm not in charge, it doesn't matter. Check that out. It's around 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on Thomas Meadow 75's channel. Don't forget John and Nelly, known as Georgia Beer Reviews. Either way, check out all his beer reviews. Check out the new series he may be doing. Beer Buddies, check that out. Stuff Sunday. Till I hear otherwise, I'm not going to be shouting that out. So I'm going to be shouting out Beer Buddies. So yes, so stay tuned for the new series, Beer Buddies. I'm looking forward to being on it, and maybe there'll be a couple episodes.
All right, Alex, you want
what?
You want to at least remember what the intro is to Beer Buddies? Here you go.
Yeah, so thank you for that. Yeah, so check that out. That's a new series coming up. Well, there's already been one episode, but that's the new series. And
it's been
two episodes. Yeah, there you go. There's one at one point, now there's two. So yeah, stay tuned for all that. And FLX Beer Reviews already called himself out because he's already here. And don't forget No Hype Beer Reviews, Kyle. He's already shouted out. Legendary Dan. Check out No Hype Beer Reviews. Check out Rick Joplin. Check out all of our peeps. And enjoy all of our shows and content. Cheers. Too many to
You better enjoy them.
Peace out.
Feed you to him. That's for me. I'm not really doing too much. Like I said, I've been on hiatus. I might pick my channel back up here in a little bit. I got some real life shit going on, and that's cool. It's going to work out for me for the best, and everything will be good. So, yeah, job changes. So, don't think my old lady's leaving me because she's not. Bad news. It's hard to be cryptic about that. Cryptic. Anyways, I might do something. I've heard some things tonight that I'm going to write down in my book. I just got to get more material for Inebriated Thoughts. I don't want to talk about the same thing over and over and beat a dead horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nelly would love to beat a dead horse and then eat it.
He'd probably love to eat a dead horse.
Yeah.
It's all about that horse meat, and Thrash won't hook him up.
I'm going to shut off the camera.
Sorry, that's a bad joke. Sorry. Anyways, go check out Leprechaun.
You got to get naked and shut the camera down.
No, I just have to go tuck my son in, so sorry to interrupt, Andrew.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
See you in 20 years, damn. All right.
Appreciate it, Alex. Anyways. Thursday nights with Leprechaun TV, man. Go check out the hot seat. He's always doing interviews, barbecue banner, recipe swaps. You can get some Uncle Steve shake over there. He's an ambassador for that company as far as I know. Word on the street. Who else? I don't know. Go check out Thrash. He's been doing pretty good. He's been cranking out a bunch of live streams, getting a bunch of views. He's running towards that monetized, so go check him out. Good times. Never have an issue going out over there. Thrash Life. Sorry, he changed his name. Who else? Beer Bowl discussion Sundays or whatever it is, Josh pulls up from time to time. It was Beer Bowl discussions this Sunday, but
let me scroll way back in the chat. Maybe we can find this loser's channel.
Oh, he's late beer. He's sleeping already.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. That's how you get him to show up in the chat. See? Yeah. Go check Josh out, man. We have a good time over there. Had a pretty good UK raid last night. So that's it, guys. Keep it simple. Keep it humble. Cheers.
Hell yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, Miss Lance.
Well,
Beer man.
There you go. See, everybody came out of the woodwork.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Beer and cheese. Beer and cheese Tuesdays.
I like
open table. 8:00. I'm gonna get a little message machine like BuMpY has. Yeah. So beer,
Message machine.
or like your little tape
Yeah.
recorder.
Just
Something that
record
we don't
yourself
know
saying the
about,
same shit that
BuMpY?
you're gonna say.
You have a message machine?
No, your little thing. No, it's because it's the same thing over and over again.
And then you have to voice record yourself.
What F key do you have to hit to get that?
Beer and cheese Tuesdays open table 8:00 Eastern tomorrow. Bring what you would like. Wednesday is a Step Brothers theme, the movie Step Brothers. I found something actually. So
Let's say, Beerman, would this be good?
What is
Brother.
it?
Brotherton, meaning because it's stepbrother.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
It
Alex.
says brother. I'm happy with that.
Thanks, Chief.
So 6:00 Eastern Wednesday for that one, and I'm also, if you guys need like I'm not trying to like promote business and stuff, but I am starting a new sticker company, so it's kind of like entailing, like it might entail like shirts, it might entail other things. I've got some machines that might do the trick, so I'm starting a business for that. So if you'd like to hit me up with that and need some stickers or shirts or keychains or whatever the fuck you need for your business or channel, just let me know.
Yes,
Again,
let's
it's not,
get
I'm not trying to, business it out here, but that's really all I have. Yeah, follow all the channels that we speak of, all the lives. Hey, I'll throw out one. Let's throw out Beer Hound's beer reviews. Cheers. I like him. He's a cool dude. Been watching him lately. I like him. He's fun to watch. So, in a plutonical sense, of course.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I forget about Dickie.
And Dickie's beer reviews. Come on, yeah. I like Dickie, man. He's cool. Oh yeah. Thanks, Miss Lane.
Never mind. I'll talk about it later. Beerman.
All right.
Yeah, we'll talk later.
So, for me, after Eric's show or possibly Alex going, and then, or no, actually after Beerman's show and after Eric's show or possibly Alex, I think we'll do another episode of beer trivia because it was lots of fun. It was probably one of the shows that I've had the most fun on as far as like my channel. Yeah, we'll do a beer
Let's
trivia.
say we have this to do too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Alex didn't say that. Let me pull that out really quick.
Not to say that, Chief. I had that in my mind. But I forgot.
I got you, Alex. Hold on. One second.
Thanks, Chief.
So eventually, possibly this week, if we can make things work, me and Alex will be doing a review on Froth Brewing Co. This is their Frosty birthday cake, 6% ABV. So look out for an examination with me and Alex on this beer if anybody else can get it. Yeah, so me and Alex will be reviewing this, and I haven't had this yet. Alex has had a couple cans.
Is that a whole case full?
Yeah, Alex has had about 24 cans.
Fair bit.
Coffee. No, but yeah, so look out for that examination. Like I said, so my Wednesday show will be 9 p.m. Eastern time after Beerman and Eric or possibly Alex. And it's beer trivia. So it's pretty much, you just show up to the panel. We did make the last one a little competitive, but we'd like to get more people on there. And it's pretty much, I just kind of ask, I go online, I look up some beer questions, and the panel members answer them. And we also have some people in chat, like Paul Middlefrew, and also Sam Smalley threw out some great questions, and they had some questions for the panel. So it's just a lot of fun, and it's educated, and it's a good time. So if you guys can make it, in the on the panel or in the chat, it's just kind of a learning experience, and it's also after 2 other live streams, so it does get a little hectic.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. We went almost like, I think we went like 3 hours last time. But yeah, so should be a good show. Definitely looking forward to doing that. And unfortunately, I will be at Beer Tuber Palooza with this guy and this guy. And I'm gonna try to do a little bit of a live, not a live. I'm gonna try to do a little bit of a vlog style video, possibly like myself, just kind of getting ready, grabbing the beers that I'm gonna grab. I know Dan was saying that a couple people are gonna wrap up some beers, so I might do like before me wrapping up some beers and kind of guessing and just doing like a little bit of a video of what people are guessing that video is. Yeah, it should be a good time. I'm super excited. I do have a decent variety of Rhode Island beers. Pretty much everything that I'm bringing is going to be from Rhode Island. Kind of wanted to base it off of that. If there's any other beer tuber paloozas, I might kind of branch off from the Rhode Island aspect. But for what I'm bringing to the beer tuber palooza, I'm just kind of trying to bring some products that possibly everybody who's going to the event might not be able to get. And I think that would be a really cool aspect. And I mean, I'm sure myself and everybody else there is going to try some other products that they might not be able to get. And me personally, I can't get anything shipped to me. I can't buy things offline. So it should be a good time. And definitely looking forward to it. No, Joe. Possibly 1 6-pack. It's not it might be a shelf turd over here in Rhode Island, but it's not going to be a grocery shelf turd. But yeah, definitely looking forward to hanging out with that guy too, Joe from the Beer Patrol. I know he's definitely been shouted out a couple times already. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hanging out with all these other people. And what I was getting at was Saturday, I'm not going to be able to do my rate at beer because I will be at Beer Tuber Palooza. But if I don't have my own live stream going, I possibly will be on a live stream or doing reviews with other people that are there, looking to make some new friends and possibly hop on their channels and doing a little bit of a collaboration. So should be fun.
Hey, Tanner, I'm sorry I'm not going to be able to make it to you. I would love to have
It'll
gone.
happen one day, Alex.
Yeah.
We'll
bury it. Don't worry about it.
It'll happen one day. Grocery shelters.
I've always said that, and it does always happen. So
no, I think. Hey, Joe, I think you're gonna like what I'm gonna be bringing. So, yeah. Other than that, I will say I got somebody else that I do want to shout out. He's not a beer reviewer, but they're called Straight Up Bourbon. They're actually live right now. Whiskey drinking guys, go check them out. They're actually live. So if you don't have anything to do after the show, you can go check them out. If you guys are interested in whiskey, Commerce Ozzy, if you're still in the chat, I think you would like their channel. They're pretty cool. I've been in their chat before. They're definitely very laid back and they're very educated on whiskey and stuff. And also, who was the other person I want to shout out? Chatio. Also, go check out Chatio. I was just on a live with him before the show about a couple hours ago, and go watch some of his videos and just go show some support. So enough talking from me, and yeah, thanks for having me tonight, BuMpY, and I'm totally looking forward to hanging out with you and Dan and everybody else there at Beer Tube Palooza. I really am super excited, and yeah, should be a great time. So cheers.
Cheers. Thanks, Tanner. All right. Yeah, I'll throw some promos out. Videos. Some of them will be 50-point inspections. Sometimes they may not be, but just my pre-recorded videos anyways. I will put out on Wednesdays and Fridays. Live stream, just like tonight. 8 p.m. Eastern time is the start of the show. It's called New Brew. Bring a beer that you've never had before. Join up on panel. 3-part show. Talk about your beer. General chit chat with rating the beer as well, if you wish to. And then hopefully we have a question once again, Sam Smalley comes in to save the day with a wonderful question from the chat. So, yeah, anybody can bring up a question. You could be on the panel. It could be myself or in the chat. And I do encourage you to please bring questions. It definitely helps me out because I'm not thinking about anything to do with this show all week long, except when I go buy beer. Yeah, it just keeps it rolling. But yeah, I just want to just going to shout everybody out that's on the panel tonight. Appreciate you guys constantly showing up for the show, making it into a show. So cheers to East Coast LQ Reviews. Check him out. You'll see him at the Beer Tuber Palooza.
Cheers.
As well as Dan from FLX Beer Reviews. Still got some more videos coming up with beers that crew sent me. It was Dan and Mike. Mike's the other portion of FLX. Great duo. Beer Man. Who
Dan, you're
you
true.
owe me $50 for your promotion of
we'll talk after
of business. No, check out Beer Man. Lots of he's got different YouTube channels as well. Beer Man's his main account, but he's also got Harmonica Man. If you guys are into music, he's got Trees Whiz.
Too many.
And he has pickle, something pickle.
Pickle Steve.
Don't forget about Steve.
Oh, God, too many things. Hard to keep up with.
Yeah, so lots of different stuff going on, but at least check out his main channel, Beer Man, and you can find everything else from there. You got Alex, the Beer Master here. Check him out. Does his Alex and Friends on Thursday nights? Always a good time. It's basically like an off air, but it's live. But he brings some people to the neighborhood that normally wouldn't even join on an off air. So it's cool to check him out there. And he enjoys that. He says it's less stressful to run that show, and it is. I mean, doing these things are, you're constantly doing something, trying to throw stuff up, and you kind of get distracted. If you can just sit back and just have a good time, yeah, it'd be nice. Blech. Throw stuff up. I like cheese.
Yeah, so do I.
When Dan came back, he were like totally melted into the cheese. He was probably like wondering what the hell happened. Did I eat too much lead?
It's all Gouda down here, baby.
Hey, I got Gouda in the fridge for tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, it comes from lot 18.
I like to cheese it.
What else do we got? We got miscellaneous brew reviews. He's not quite doing the brew review thing right now. He's taking a little hiatus on that, but usually on Thursday nights he'll do a live stream of somewhat. But he's been doing a lot of video game stuff, right? Seen a lot of like
For now, yeah. Taking a break. I'm doing a career. I'm doing career change, and
yeah,
it's gonna be for the best. I just had to hold off on the craft stuff. There's more important stuff than that.
Yeah.
YouTube's not number one for me. It's my family and mine. So yeah, we gotta eat first, Doug. Craft beer is extra. So I mean, it's not that I can't afford it. It's just it's not sustainable at this moment. I just can't make the shows all the time.
I totally forgot. I was supposed to make photocopies of a bunch of score sheets. All right.
You should have did that when you were at work.
That's what that was my plan.
It would have been free.
Right
That
here.
was my plan.
You want some? I'll send you some.
Damn it.
I got one
You
on
really
my TV right here too. On my monitor, looking at it.
Yeah.
A giant. I'll wear one of those like those whiteboards that has like on both sides. It's kind of like the stand-up kind. I'll just put it around my head.
It's got like fucking ratchet straps to hold it on top of the rental.
Oh look, it's a walk-in 50-point inspection.
It's gonna look
Not
like a fucking,
cool, man.
like
Not
an
cool.
NFL draft when BuMpY gets done. Your names are gonna be in there. It's gonna be crazy.
So yeah, I'll also be at Beer Tuber Palooza. So Unfortunately, we'll be missing out on some shows that may happen. Friday night. Well, Tanner's going to be there, so his show. We could do your show, Tanner. You'll be there. Damn it, we will be drinking beer.
Damn, Sam.
But yeah,
that short got a good views, you bastard.
definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, I will say I think we're probably gonna. So I don't know the whole outlook of what we're doing, but
Somebody said you were bringing liquor.
Oh no, I'm not gonna bring no liquor.
Why not?
No, because I don't want to get too rowdy.
Yeah, Joe said he wanted to sit down in a corner with you and just
do a liquor review.
That's why I don't drink liquor anymore.
I think that's what I heard last night, right? There. I did indulge a bit, but something to that effect.
Well,
what BuMpY just said.
Well, I would hope to be doing just like pre-recorded videos. I think would be better off, you know.
Just keep looking in the corner.
Shit. So yeah, but anyways, that's my shouts. Cheers to the chat. Thank you guys so much for showing up. We got the regulars. We got some folks popping in as well with a Chatty-O raid. Appreciate that. Appreciate Thrash Life showing up. Jules, good to see you again. Jamie C, thank you. Yeah, Paul Middlefruit, always a good time with him. He's a great character. He is. Usually on Sesame Street. Big Bird. Watch Sesame Street. And Luke John, cheers to you. Thank you for showing up in the chat as well and chatting along, talking about your biscuits and shit. Joe, the Beer Troll, appreciate that you've been showing up lately as well. Probably just following Dan. So I appreciate Dan for being here as well. And of course, Josh, last beer. Wish you would have made it up on panel tonight, my friend. But
we're gonna have to start calling you Missed It Beer. You missed it, Beer.
Yeah. And Cheryl Crawford as well. She's always here to cheers everybody on. So appreciate that so much. And I just want to say thank you to the chat. I already said to the chat. Damn it. Chat, you done. Panel. Thank you guys for all being here. I already shouted you all out, kind of, sort of, on the best little short manner I could. You want to hold my brisket? It will be there. Brisket, and I'm also doing smoked beans. So if you are going to be there, if anybody watches this, that's going to be there. I feel very bad for the vegans or people that, or maybe I don't.
I don't feel bad for them. They don't eat meat. That's their fault.
I don't feel bad for them because maybe you won't get food poisoning.
Jeez.
But yeah, there'll be some briskets.
Don't let them lie to you. The brisket will be the best brisket you've ever had in your entire life.
It's gonna be great. You're gonna love it.
And smoked beans.
It's gonna be moist.
It really, the brisket he made for me and John was really top notch. So.
Yeah. But that's about it. We're gonna close out the show. Alex.
Okay. This is Alex the Beer Master. And we will see you all on the next live stream and the next video. This is Alex Beer Master signing out. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. Oh, good Lord. What are we doing now? Oh,